As in, I am in the office today. It is lunchtime. I decided to not go to the gym because I printed out this, which I'm going to be filling in now. You haven't been there for a year. You've only been there for like 6 or 7 months, and that's half a year, and not much can change in that amount of time. And yeah, if you go back, they'll be like, oh, not much has changed. But what have you been dedicating most of your time towards? I bet you it's your A-levels, right? Because that's your number one task right now. The second place where your time has gone is you've been going to the gym consistently for the past 6 or 7 months. I do think that you have gotten stronger and you have gotten bigger. Your form has probably improved in loads of different exercises. It's hard for you to measure because to you have stayed the same. It takes a while. It takes so long for you to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, whoa, I've actually changed. What the hell? That only happened to me recently when I've been exercising for like 3-4 years now. I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my god, I'm actually different. That's crazy. And to others, they see it way sooner than you do, because you are the person who lives in your body. You are the person who sees yourself in the mirror every morning. You're the person who sees you in the gym every day. You don't notice that gradual improvement that you're having. And yes, I actually was not going to say, oh, you're only 15, it's fine. I was going to say that it's only for you, it's only been a little bit since you have learned about like self-improvement and improving yourself and getting better. And I think that's when you are aware of it and you actually want to get better, that's when the timer starts ticking of like, oh, how soon can you become the best version of yourself? And that sounds a little bit sad and disappointing, but you have to notice that the measurable improvements aren't the only thing that improves. The visual and the outside things aren't the only things that get better. So over the past few months, you've been thinking about studies and your priorities, and you've been thinking about, and your mindset has changed, your integrity has changed, your discipline has changed. All of these things, your mindset, your perspective on loads of different topics have changed. Like, that is still improvement. That's just, it's setting up your foundation so that you can become and improve faster than most people. You know, it's just because you can't bench like 100 kilos or because you can't like do some karate stuff doesn't mean that you haven't gotten better. And those 4 aspects, that's pretty good. What I will say is, what are you looking into when you're talking about making money? What type of business or venture do you want to go into? Do you want to help Baba with his business, or do you want to do something entirely separate? Are you looking for online income, or do you want to start like a business or something? You know, reselling might be hard if you don't know the market, because especially if you haven't lived there for too long. You might not be improving with like hard skills such as like, oh, like how quickly I can get out of a choke or how much you can lift, but you're improving your soft skills, which is you know how to adapt to a new environment, you know how to avoid social media, you know about meditation, you know all of these things, and you're still learning about a lot of them. Slow periods and there's fast periods for growth, and right now I feel like you're like in an incubation stage where it's like you're getting ready to hatch, but you're not there quite yet, and that's okay. As long as you know you're trying, as long as you have the right intention in place, you know what you want. Now you need a plan. You need to figure out how you're going to get to where you want to get to. What I will say is, it probably feels different to what you think it feels, because when you achieve a goal, sure, you've achieved the goal, but nothing really changes. All you know is now, okay, I've done this. And especially something like fighting or the gym, you keep going, you keep going, you keep getting better, you keep getting better, you go. And it's very late in the journey when you look back and you're like, oh, I'm way better than I was before. It's not like a game where, oh, you see the progress bar go up and you reach level 20 and you're like, okay, now I'm good. You never really get to the point where it's like, oh, now I'm okay, now I can leave it. Unless circumstance makes you leave it. I'm on the 5th floor. I usually work on the 1st floor, but I came up here and I got a little office at lunchtime so that I can speak to you. And speaking about friends and feeling behind, it's just a bit upsetting because I feel like my friend William has my dream opportunity, to be honest with you, because he makes money by training AI models like maths. He has a maths degree, so he teaches AI models like complicated maths and how to do it. And he makes like, I'm not going to say how much he makes, but he started about 6 months ago and he's maxed out his ISA, which an ISA is like the maximum tax-free amount you can invest in a year in the UK. So he's maxed that out. So he's got more than 20k just for savings in the same time that I've been working. And I do not have nearly that much. I know he's making like 4 times as much per hour as me. And that's insane because he's fully remote online. I'm estimating he works like 25 hours a week, which is less than me. And I know I'm comparing, but I'm just thinking like, if I was in that position, then I would go to UAE, or I would go to Bali, or I'd go to Malaysia, Indonesia, just work from there, bro. Live there, experience life there. It's way cheaper, so it's going to be like your rent and your food is going to be like a fraction of the cost. Time to be living. Literally buckle down for like 3 days a week, do all the work, and the other 4 days just explore and exist and experience things. That's what I would love to do. And I've thought about this for a while. I don't really have a plan to get there. My plan right now is build a personal brand on Instagram, like I have been posting the Instagram videos, and then hopefully I can transition to an online income rather than a office job. But that's a long time plan, you know. It's a long term plan. It's a 3-4 year plan, and it takes a lot of effort and consistency. I'm gonna have to work basically 2 full-time jobs, and I'm willing to accept that sacrifice. And I'm excited to see what possibilities. But I know what you mean when it feels like, oh man, I'm so behind right now. I haven't done anything right now. But I'll tell you, the grass is always greener on the other side. Once you get to that point, I bet your friends are thinking, oh, what can I do better to do this? I wish I did this, and this. You might not be able to see it in your perspective, but from once you reach there, it's like, okay, where's the next objective? That's what it's like to be ambitious, like we are. You get to a point, you're like, okay, now where do I go from here? Now, how do I get better from here? Yeah, that's what's been plaguing me for the past few days. My friends wanted to go on a trip to Japan in September, but it's right after my exam, which is doable, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to get the time off, especially if I'm going to Appo's wedding. And I'm not even sure about like how much money do I have to save up for it. They're estimating like 4k, but I don't know. There's probably a better use for that money. I want to invest it into making my Instagram videos better, making my YouTube videos better. For the next month, I got to focus on my exam. I can't be thinking about investing my money into any content creation sort of thing. It takes up too much brain power. My hand is sore. I'm only like halfway there. I wonder how many of these weeks I'm going to fill in until I achieve my goals. How many of these weeks, how many of these little circles am I going to fill in until I achieve and be where I want to be? But anyway, the point of my story was, I wanted to tell you that you are making progress and you have changed even though you don't see it. And progress is probably going to be slower to you and you probably won't notice it. But change is happening. And it just depends on how much time you spend on what your goals are.